The following is a presentation of Muddy River Sports.
Well, it's 4th of July weekend, which means people are on the road traveling, headed out to their favorite fireworks event, and you got to stop and get snacks, drinks, something to take to your barbecue. With that spirit in mind, we're doing our top 10 favorite snacks on this episode of The List. I'm Muddy River Sports editor Matt Schuckman. Thanks for joining us once again as we break down our top 10 favorite things. You can go back and view and listen to our previous episodes of the podcast. But this week we're venturing a little away from sports. And so I went and got my favorite snacker out there. The guy I know that loves snacks more than anybody else I know. The Dirt Man himself, Steve Eighinger. Thanks for joining me.
It's a pleasure, and I'm really honored by that intro. Thank you.
You love snacks, don't you?
I love snacks.
There's no one I know. Like, I'm really curious to how this list is going to go, because I know you love snacks. I know you have a variety of things that I know you like, but I'm sure there's going to be some twists on here, aren't there?
I think a couple might surprise you. I'm pretty traditional, but I think one or two might pop out at you.
All right, well, in that spirit, let's get snacking.
Let's.
All right, number 10, Steve Eighinger, go.
Again, this is more along the traditional line, but I like a good candy bar as much as anybody else. And at number 10, I've got Snickers. I don't think you can go wrong with a Snickers bar.
I don't think you can either. Are you going for the full bar or the little minis, or does it matter?
It depends how hungry I am. Late at night, I got the XLs, you know. If I'm out in public, I usually just go for the one-piece jobs.
The little snack size, or just the regular?
We do regular.
No snack size?
Well, if it's snack size, it's going to be multiple.
I'm with you there. I agree with you. Okay, number 10 on my list is one of those back from my childhood, kind of always loved them, gummy bears. And plus, I love the Haribo Gummy Bears commercials, which I think is part of it. But, you know, I'm not... Gummy worms are fine. Gummy sharks, all the... You got to go with the original, the Gummy Bears.
Well, you like the Goonies, too, so...
Oh, you love the Goonies.
I've never been a gummy bear person, to be honest.
That's okay.
That's just me.
That's all right. Okay, number 9.
Again, staying in that traditional candy bar mold from back in my childhood, as you mentioned... The Nestle's Crunch Bar, oh. I can never go wrong with
Classic.
That. Classic. It truly is. And the only bad thing with like the Nestle's Crunch Bar or even the Snickers, they melt, so you got to eat them fast, and that's always a plus.
There's nothing wrong with that at all. You know what? You could always add a little peanut butter to your Nestle Crunch Bar.
Oh, that's a great idea.
And makes it really tasty. Just an idea. Number 9 on my list is a traditional like road trip thing. My wife will buy these for me when we're on a road trip if she runs into the convenience store or if she's packing for a long road trip. Slim Jims. Snap into a Slim Jim. I like beef jerky. I like all those things. But Slim Jim is top of the list.
See, you and I will go down different roads on this.
Yeah.
Slim Jim wouldn't even make my NCAA tournament field. But there's nothing wrong with that.
So, okay, number 8.
The cousin of the Snickers, the Milky Way. I like the Milky Way because it's smooth, and even if it melts a little bit, it just dissolves in your mouth. I love the Milky Way.
Yeah, it's all right. It wouldn't make my NCAA tournament list. So there you go.
Would it make the NAIA?
Probably.
Okay.
Number 8, little different here. Not the candy. We're not going down the candy aisle, and we're not going down the chip aisle. We're going down, I don't know which aisle it is in the grocery store. Little Debbie zebra cakes. So you have a variety of Little Debbie snacks you can buy. The zebra cakes are the top of my list. I see you're cringing. Why are you cringing?
I hate Little Debbie stuff.
What? My wife will not speak to you again.
I'm a Hostess person.
Well, okay, there's not a lot of difference.
Well, we're in the same family then, but yeah, I never cared for the Little Debbie stuff.
Wow.
This is like artificial turf and grass.
Well, there's nothing wrong with Hostess. The zebra cakes are my favorite.
The Hostess, when they went bankrupt or whatever, and they came back, it hasn't been nearly as good.
See?
I'll give you that. I mean, it's probably on par with Little Debbie now.
Wow. I'm gonna stick Michelle on you. She's not gonna, because like the little Debbie fancy cakes are her favorite.
I'm not messing with Michelle. I'll go Little Debbie.
Okay, there you go. All right, on to number 7. Number 7 on your list.
Chocolate covered raisins.
Okay.
My favorite in-house treat at a movie place, and I don't know about you, but if you eat that kind of thing, the chocolate covered or whatever, I eat them by the box. I mean, I just dump them in my mouth and go for it.
Well, chocolate covered raisins are great. My dad would buy a big bag of them every year at the holidays, and we'd have chocolate covered raisins and chocolate covered peanuts around the house.
Well, chocolate covered peanut, yeah, that should be 7A and 7B actually.
All right, well, I'm sticking in the chocolate aisle for my number 7, and it's my favorite chocolate on my list. Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. And as much as I like the original, I like the mini ones, the mini wrapped ones, even better. Now you can eat multiple of them. You have to.
I love the Reese's stuff too. I've kind of graduated in recent years to the bigger, thicker ones.
The king size?
They were number 11 on my list, in fairness. So.
And maybe like 7B for me would be the Reese's Sticks.
Those are good too.
Those are tasty.
Those are quality, yes.
All right, number 6 on your list.
Hostess Orange Cupcakes.
Oh, okay.
And I'd like to put an asterisk by that because I like the old school Hostess better. I don't know who bought that company when they came back, but I don't know what they left in or added to it, but it's just not quite as good. But still, I wouldn't kick an Hostess Orange Cupcake out of bed.
I don't think, knowing you wouldn't kick any snacks out of bed.
No, not really.
Okay. Number 6 on my list. Okay, I'm not a big Fritos fan. Like, they're fine. They're corn chips. There's nothing special to me about them. However, the chili cheese Fritos are the bomb. Chili cheese Fritos are number 6 on my list.
You and my wife should snack together. I'll tell you, everything you've listed, she likes.
See? She's a smart woman. Yes, chili cheese Fritos. Okay, we are midway through our list for this week. Our top 10 favorite snack foods. I'm Muddy River Sports editor Matt Schuckman, hanging out with the Dirt Man, our Muddy River Sports racing writer and the author of Daily Dirt, Steve Eighinger.
Again, it's a pleasure to be here, and this is probably my favorite topic in the world.
I figured you would be perfect for this. All right, so let's go into our top 5. Dirt, number 5.
The Kit Kat bar.
Solid.
My
Solid.
bottom half is kind of chocolate infested, but I like the crunchiness, the wafer, the chocolate mixed in. It's just almost perfect.
You said it well. I have nothing to add to that. Kit Kat is a classic, and it's perfect the way it is. My number 5, and we're going totally different paths for our top 5, by the way. I'm going more salty. You're going more sweet. So number 5 on my list, popcorn. Good old salty, buttery popcorn. I don't need a lot of fancy flavors. Yes, do I like some of those? Sure. But give me a bag of classic popcorn, and I'm happy as a lark.
I don't dislike popcorn, but I don't love it. It's kind of like the National League Central. It's there. And I actually would go down maybe the cheese corn path before popcorn.
Nothing wrong with cheese corn. Nothing wrong with caramel corn. Really like caramel corn. But popcorn, if you want a good snack, popcorn's a great snack. Number 4.
Again, I got to put an asterisk by this because I'm looking back more on the whole sphere of life. Raspberry Zingers. There's a wince going on with my partner here. But yeah, I once ate a whole box of Zingers at one sitting.
I've heard this story. I know you love Zingers.
I
Okay, here's the deal. I don't like raspberry. Like, raspberry flavored, like you go to stores and you can get like raspberry cheesecake and raspberry tea and raspberry this and that. I'm not a raspberry fan. I love strawberries. I love blueberries. I love black raspberries. Just don't do it for me. So the raspberry zingers just, however, the golden zingers are the best zingers out there. I know some people like the chocolate ones. The golden zingers, they're above Twinkies in my book. They're above all those things.
Well, I think Twinkies are terrible. So,
but the golden zingers, I'm surprised it's not on my list. Now I feel bad now. Now that you bring up zingers, zingers should be on my list.
Golden zingers are like a stepson gone bad.
No, they're not. Whatever. We're not going down that route because golden zingers rule. Number 4 on my list. In our family, we call them Tony crackers because my nephew Tony loved them so much that they have since been known as Tony crackers in our family. But those are Cheez-Its. I'm a big Cheez-Its fan, and I like the duos. So, they've come out, they've expanded their list. The white cheddar Cheez-Its are good. Pretty much anything in the Cheez-It brand aisle is good, but I've become a big fan of the duos where you have half of one flavor and half of the other. The sharp cheddar and the Parmesan ones are a great duo.
Cheez-Its may be the best when you get into the dry snack type thing, which I love the dry snack, so it makes the Mountain Dew go down that much better.
All right, on to number 3.
M&M's with nuts. If you're giving me a bag of M&M's and just those little plain chocolate things, I don't like those.
Really? You don't like plain M&M's?
Not really, but you put a big nut in those, and I'm your boy.
What about the peanut butter M&M's?
If there is a so-called plain M&M that I do like, I do eat the peanut butter.
Okay, well, that wouldn't be a plain M&M. That would be a peanut butter M&M.
If it doesn't get a nut in it, I just look at it as plain.
Peanut or almond?
Almond, ideally.
Do you like the almond? Okay. Interesting. You don't like plain M&M's?
I hate those things.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. That's interesting. Number 3 on my list, Chex Mix. And I like buying a bag of Chex Mix, like if you're on the road or you stop at a convenience store. But even better, I like making my own Chex Mix.
Well, you're more ambitious than I am. But the only thing about the Chex Mix, your traditional standard Chex, I don't like the wheat ones. I'll pick those out and I'll eat the other stuff.
Seriously?
Yeah.
You're a weird dude.
I like the rice and whatever the other one is.
Corn,
yeah. But that wheat one, I don't know, something about it.
You're an interesting
snacker?
Yes.
Yep, just never liked those either.
Okay. Well, Chex Mix, and I'll eat any kind of Chex Mix, but I like making my own more than any other.
I prefer it made for me.
That does not surprise me. Okay, we are on to our top 2. Number 2, Stevie Dirt.
Okay, this one I could pretty much guarantee you won't be on your list.
Yeah.
Number 2 for me is the Neiman grocery store brownies that are like cocoa flavored, and the cake itself is not overdone. You got a lot of frosting to go with it, and you can get them in 2-packs or 6-packs. I can eat a 6.
Are those the ones that are like the Texas sheet cake?
Yes.
Yeah, they're not brownies. They're Texas sheet cake.
Well, I agree with that, but they had them listed as brownies the last time I was in the store. So,
shout out to our former WIG employee, Jana Green. She would bring in for we'd always bring treats on her birthdays. She would bring a pan of Texas sheet cake. Dynamite.
Did you ever know she brought a separate sheet cake
just
in
for
me?
you?
Yeah.
Yes, I know. A lot of people brought in additional treats for you because everybody knew you would
eat them.
Yeah, all day long. So, number 2 on my list, Dots pretzels. Now, I like all kinds of pretzels, but Dots and the original. Because I'm not a big ranch guy. So, I don't like ranch dressing, so I'm not big on the ranch seasoning on things. But the original Dots pretzels, whoo, mercy.
They're a little
I can go through a
expensive.
bag of those pretty quick.
They're a little expensive, but they're worth it.
Yes. And I've tried some variations of other, Rolled Gold has made some. Snyder's has made some flavored twist. They actually sent me a box of them one time because I mentioned pretzels on Twitter. And I got a box of with sample packs from Snyder's.
Do you like the pretzels, and I can't think of the brand name, but the real thin and they're just covered in salt?
They're all right.
Or do you like the stick ones?
They're all right. I like the Dot's Pretzels Twist. They're my favorite.
As long as they got salt on them, I'm all for it.
Okay. We are to our number one snack food. We've gone through 10 through 2 on both of our lists. Very different list, by the way. You're very, very much sweet. I'm very much savory on what we pick. So, are you staying sweet for number one?
No.
Oh.
And I have a tie, in a way.
Okay, well, lay it on us, Dirt.
The potato chip,
Okay.
which I've split my number one vote between Lay's and Ruffles. And I like both of, I like the thin Lay's.
Okay.
And the Ruffles is usually a little thicker or heavier.
Ruffles has ridges.
Ruffles does, and I love those ridges. And I love the white potato chips.
Okay.
They're never burnt.
Right.
And because they taste different. And those two, I just couldn't decide. I was going to flip a coin, but that
So
wasn't fair.
just a basic potato chip.
I'd go potato chip, and then in parentheses, my two favorite kinds.
Okay, well, I'm in the chip aisle with you for my number one.
I bet I know where you're going.
Where do you think I'm going?
Fritos.
No, you knew better. I said earlier I didn't like Fritos. Like, I didn't like plain Fritos.
I miss a lot.
Yes, you do. I'm surprised you were even came up with a list that you remember. Number one on my list, the classic, nothing can touch it, even though others try. Nacho cheese Doritos. Ever since I was a kid, my parents could tell you this growing up. It has been my number one favorite chip, snack, whatever you want to call it. Nacho cheese Doritos.
Buddy, those wouldn't crack my top 100.
Man.
I hate nacho cheese stuff.
Well, you're okay. So to give our listeners an idea of the Dirt palate, you're very plain.
Very, very.
Plain hamburger.
Plain hamburger.
No
yes.
cheese.
On occasion.
But pretty much when our group gets together, go out to dinner, or guys get together and go to lunch, you're very plain.
And no ketchup or mustard or relish or any of that crap.
Wow. Even on hot dogs?
Oh, no.
What do you put on a hot dog?
The coney stuff I like. The meat stuff.
Chili?
Yeah.
You like a chili dog?
Yeah.
Okay. But if you're having just a regular hot dog, no mustard, no ketchup, no.
No, I'll grill my Nathan's dogs on the grill, and I'll eat about 8 of them, but they're all naked.
8 of them. You and Joey Chestnut.
Yeah.
Well, that was an interesting list. Thanks for breaking down the snack foods with me.
We'll have to do holiday foods later in the
We
year.
can, yes. We can do that. We should do one of these like once a month and break down some sort of food item.
We could do soft drinks.
We could. You're full of ideas now, aren't you? You like this, don't you?
My wife says I'm full of it.
We all know that. Having worked with you all these years, yes, we all know that. If you want to check out some of Stevie Dirt's stuff, make sure to check out MuddyRiverSports.com for all of his racing coverage. He'll also be chipping in throughout the school year with coverage of high school and college sports. And we're going to be talking food because, well, we both like to eat.
Yeah, let's be honest.
Yeah, we're not hiding this fact, are we?
No.
All right, for Stevie Dirt, I'm Matt Schuckman. This has been another episode of The List.
Muddy River Sports. Our home, our sports.